Rachaelmakes. I'm Rachel and today we're going to make some Easter biscuits because it's Easter. So I'll tell you what we need. We need 100 grams of butter or margarine, but butter's a lot better in biscuits. 75 grams of caster sugar, 1 egg which is separated white and the yolk, 200 grams of plain flour, a teaspoon of mixed spice, 75 grams of dried fruit, a little bit of milk, and also we will need a little bit of extra sugar for sprinkling. Okay, so we start off by creaming together the butter and the sugar. So the butter needs to be slightly soft for this. I've also preheated the oven to 200 degrees. See, that's creamed together really nicely. And I'm going to add the egg yolk. We're going to use the egg white a little bit later, so I've just put that aside. So at this point this looks absolutely revolting, but it will come together. So stir that together really well. We're now going to add the flour. Let's pop that in. And the mixed spice. I love mixed spice, so I'm going to put a teaspoon of this. You could put half a teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of mixed spice. But I love mixed spice. Don't mix it up with the revolting allspice, which is disgusting. That's just my opinion. Okay. So at the moment this looks pretty dry. We mix it together as best we can and then add a little bit of milk to it to make a nice soft dough. Okay, so this is thoroughly mixed now. It's still a little bit dry, but I'm going to add the dried fruit, mix this round, and then I need to add 1 or 2 tablespoons of milk in order to make this into a nice soft dough. So this is my dough ready to roll out now. I added a couple of tablespoons of milk. If you add a little bit too much milk and it's a bit too wet, it's not a disaster. Just add a little bit of flour. Biscuits are a lot more forgiving than something like a cake. You're not going to alter it terribly if you add a little bit more flour. Okay, so just roll this out to about, I suppose, ½ centimetre. And then you need to just use whatever cutter suits you. I'm using this one because I like nice big biscuits. And just cut out your biscuits and pop them onto a greased baking tray, or in my case a baking tray with foil on it. Okay. You're then going to pop them into the oven for 8 minutes. Okay. At which point we bring them out, we brush them with egg white, put a little bit of caster sugar on them and pop them back in for another 5 minutes. Okay. But I'll show you that stage. So these are ready to go into the oven now. Obviously I've made these quite big. You can make them small if you want to. Traditionally they're generally a little bit smaller. I've made one here for a cook's treat so that I can try it later. These will go in now for 8 minutes. Okay, so these have been in for 8 minutes. I'm now going to brush them with the egg white. Okay, so you brush each one with the egg white, sprinkle with a little bit of sugar, back in the oven for 5 minutes, then they should be done. Okay, so these are done now. I gave them another 5 minutes and you can tell when they're done because they're slightly brown underneath. So that was my recipe for Easter biscuits. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. If you'd like to see more videos, please subscribe and I'd love to hear your comments. Nice ones please. Bye bye.